Do we know where Bill Penn is?
I have not heard back from him. No, sorry.
Bill's, the other Bill,
The other
the
Bill,
other Bill's had a baby.
I think she's in labor, yes.
Nobody can pick up his stuff.
Bill,
Okay, so
yeah, he took another fall
Oh, God damn.
at the what? I lost Cindy Pappas.
yeah, she'll be back when it's time for her application. She's in like the attendees space there. So Martha, I guess you're gonna need to chair the meeting unless you want to wait a few minutes to see if Bill logs on to the meeting.
Thought Cindy might know.
Oh, sure, we can ask her.
Let me call her.
I just put her on the camera.
I'd rather do it off
Oh, sure.
camera.
I mean, you have 4 members present, so hopefully,
You have a quorum.
yeah, you have a quorum.
You're muted.
I don't know how that happened. Is Jen, do you have an agenda?
I do. Do you want me to bring?
Yeah, because I think I've got everything else. But what I thought, I don't seem to have that.
I'm sending it to the printer right next to you.
Not that great big thing.
I have mine in the newspaper.
Okay, we're calling the meeting to order. This is losing my papers. I'm losing everything. The last we heard from Bill Cook, still awaiting the arrival of their daughter. And Bill Penn has not signed in, and did you say Mike is not here, Jen? Am I unmuted again?
No, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Mike is not going to be at the meeting.
Okay.
I expected Bill and Bill to be here, but I don't see them.
Okay, so we're called to order. We're meeting by Zoom. Jen, do you have an update on when Zoom is ending?
This will be your last Zoom meeting. Next month will be in person.
Yes.
Hooray.
Hey,
Hooray. I agree.
I am so not prepared to share this. Okay, Erin O'Neill I thought I saw Erin O'Neill before.
Yes.
Hmm.
She is here.
Would have been in a little better order. And I'm in better order than I normally am, so. Okay, the first application, I'm not going to read the call to order. We all know what that says. Do we have anybody beside, who do we have waiting? Or who's here to be on in the meeting besides
Erin, do
Erin?
you want to introduce your contractors?
Sure. I have two of my contractors with me, Pete Chamita and RJ Connors.
Good evening.
Okay, and you are RJ. Okay. Your relative?
I am, yes.
The first application we have is the sign application. Now, where did we end up after last meeting? There was some concern about all kinds of different things. So let's just start like this is a fresh sign application
Okay, great.
and not try to redo what was done before, because that just will confuse everyone.
Perfect. So this application is, the sign would be placed in between the corbels, right on the top of the front steps. And the dimensions are 36 inches long by 10 inches high and fastened with L brackets and SST screws. And I'm only saying that because somebody asked that last time.
Stainless steel.
Thanks.
I happen to think that the sign application goes in, it joins the stair application, because if the stair is not going to be where it is in the front, what I consider the front of the building, then there's no sense having a sign up there at all.
There's no more application for the stairs. I'm going to leave them. So
All of
just,
them?
excuse me?
All of them?
Yes. I'm just going to repair them.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at them and they don't go down. You don't fall down the stairs and end up in the road. There's about a six foot swath of grass down at the bottom of the stairs. So you end up on the grass.
I'm really glad to hear that. I was hoping you'd be able to come to some resolution on the stairs, because they've been a part of that landscape. Well, clearly, obviously, since they were built, certainly through my memory. And it's like even if you don't use the front door, it's lots of New England houses don't, lots of houses, period, don't, I guess, out here especially. But it does provide that lovely welcoming funnel up the hill, if it's only a visual. So I'm really glad to hear that. So can we go back to the sign application? Anybody have any questions about it and how it's going to set?
Nope. I don't.
Jen, do we have?
I would make a motion to accept the sign application as is.
Do we have all the
Second.
information we need, Jen?
Yes, you do.
Because I'm not seeing.
Second that motion.
Okay, we have Arlene and Kay, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Let me write on this. Well, I've got it in front of me. Otherwise, I don't have the file anyway. Never mind. Okay, next one is, again, Erin O'Neill, application for a bluestone patio and walkway to the front porch. Want to walk us through this one?
Sure. So I am just going to do a 19 by 19 bluestone patio outside the front apartment, which would, there's a patio in the back apartment, so it would be matching material to that with
Which is, show, which, is it outside of here?
yeah, that's where it will be, outside of, to the front apartment, outside that front door. I think is,
So if you're looking at the picture, it'll be to the right of the lobster on the wall.
yeah, and I
Okay.
think I sent in updated stuff, so you're looking at the proposal I sent in for last month's meeting.
Oh.
So the new proposal, there's a picture with an outline of what it would look like from an overview from the sky, and then also if you were looking at the space from the.
This is the one time I saved everything from last time, so,
Now that will confuse you.
yeah.
The new one, I think.
I just saw the, oh, good. This is the one.
Yeah, and there might be a third page on there that has a photograph.
I could bring it up on the screen, I
I don't
think, if
have
you
it.
guys want.
That'd be great. Could you
That'd be
please?
great.
All right. I'll bring up the, this is going to be black and white. I'm going to request to share, if that's okay. Just able to share.
Unfortunately, I think you're blocked from sharing, but I'm going to try to. I believe that's. Let me just see.
Ah, there it is.
Ah,
Is it sideways, I hope?
Yeah, because I don't have the.
can you,
It's not allowing me to edit it on when I'm sharing it. I'm going to try to do it without. Sorry.
Are you gonna put it in sand? How are you gonna install it?
Yeah, with stone dust.
So unfortunately, I cannot edit the photo.
Because I only have the aerial. I don't have that.
That gives you kind of the layout. So the picture that was just shown a moment ago, where you're asking which side it was on, you could reference it from the fact of where the lobster is. You could see it come out. That outline actually does give you a good depiction of where it would be sitting.
okay,
The reference point is the actual power coming in. The power side, it is broken up right in between there. And then there would be a small pathway to the front porch, and then that would give access to the front apartment also, on the front door and on the side door.
I think it would look very nice.
Okay, and as far as lot coverage and all, that is not under our purview. You have to deal with other people for that.
Yeah, and Tom Rism did the calculation for me before I even applied, so he
Okay,
said.
good. Good, I don't have any questions about this. Does anybody else?
I don't.
An emotion would be in order.
Sure, I make a motion on plot 6, lot 11 for the patio. I don't have the measurements of the patio here.
20 by 20.
Okay. And a path to the front porch, also with the same matching tile or
Yes,
slate.
yep.
Okay.
All in favor?
Was there a second?
Nobody second me.
We need a second. Come on, folks, somebody second that.
I'll
Which
second
one?
it.
Okay,
Well-
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. That's
Yay.
unanimous. Okay, now we have the, do we have anything else we have to approve? Are we changing anything? Are you,
The court,
no, I'm asking, is there change in
To the-
material? Is there change in,
For the
I'm
front,
asking the applicant,
are you asking about the front porch? Sorry.
I'm asking about the front porch.
Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna change anything. I mean, I got a company which I attached to my newest application who will custom make the corbels for me. So the corbels will be the same and basically the railings and the posts are as close as possible to what's there.
Corbels are beautiful, the way they designed them. I've had some work done similar to that. They're thick enough. Many of the ones that are off the shelf are very thin. This
Yeah.
looks like somebody carved them out and put them on their house. A nice job on those.
They're going to be the
We
same
even have to-
size, thick.
We even have to approve it because it's the same.
Because it's different material for the record, I think we should have it. So just so there won't be any, question later on.
what are they gonna
Okay.
make it out of? It's not gonna be wood?
No, it's composite. Everything I'm replacing with composite.
I think it's nice looking.
Anybody want to make a motion on this? And this time we should probably get finding of facts in here because of the value of this house to the historic
Okay.
district. Anybody want to go ahead?
I'll give it a shot. A shot to approve the corbels as shown. And findings in fact is they are made to the specifications of the original ones. Is there a second on that? I'm not sure.
And the rails,
And the rails, thank you.
balances.
And
And
it's an historic house. It's one of the landmark houses on the Calico Hill. And it's, and we probably should note also that the stairs will be kept in place,
repaired.
but kept in place.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That's unanimous. I'm doing roll call. Okay, is Judy Rose here?
She is.
She on yet?
She should be just a second. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Hello.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Mrs. Rose.
Aye.
Joe Priestley is also present for the applicant.
Hello, Jen.
Okay, let's start where we left off last time.
There have been some significant changes in the plans to respond to your issues raised last time. And there were also a couple of other changes that, although they don't necessarily respond to the things you suggested, I would want to point out. One is on the front side, the south elevation. All of the windows are now 2/2, and they've all been made somewhat larger than in the previous iteration. They still remain, all windows throughout the house are going to be Anderson 400s. You'll note on the rear deck that they've added a railing. On the side staircase, they've changed the design so there's a landing and an offshoot step. On the east side, right elevation, they've also expanded the window size and shown the matching ghost window. Although Mrs. Rose, because of the expanding of the two windows to the right, would prefer not to have to build the ghost window if she didn't have to. She's concerned about maintenance issues, among others. And as was pointed out last time, it is a very small wall. And then finally, on the west side elevation, you'll see that the single door has been replaced at the top of the stairs, has been replaced with a double door that runs the length of the landing area. And below the landing, there are 2 small windows. I also believe Judy has delivered to the town hall and for you examples of the cedar shakes, roof shingles, and trim that she proposes to use.
Do we have that, Jen? I haven't seen anything.
No, I have to.
No, because we were on Zoom. I don't think it's here, no.
Okay. Well,
I'm still very happy with the front elevation, with the little toilet windows that are in the front of the house. No, they're 2 foot by 3 foot. It's really ugly.
yeah, the odd thing about that street is that the fronts of the houses are, or at least the front of the house next door. And I think begins with an H down the street.
80.
Hardigan.
Hardigan.
They all basically have their front of their house faces north. They're all on that same strip. And Lulu Carly's house, you're looking at the back of her house if you go up Sunset Road, and you're looking at the back of Hardigan's. And there's another one up there. I can't remember the name. And that's just the way it is up there. And I just want everybody to remember that.
And which makes some sense since the principal views are to the north and not to the south.
You lose all that southern sun though, my gosh. I wouldn't want to, but that's me.
I just screen shared the plans. I don't know if you needed to see them or not, but.
Yeah, the window. I get what you're saying. That it's a strange thing. It's a strange thing to have the front door with those with those little windows too.
The front door is a solid wood door, Martha. That may not show well on the plan, but there are not windows in the door.
No, it shows. At least it's clear to me. But when you start talking about fronts and backs, technically, on that street, is there a single building on the north side of Sunset that faces Sunset? Anybody?
I don't think so. I've done a couple of jobs up there and I don't think so.
The one opposite McQueenie's, little cottage faces sunset. Right behind Haiti.
The one that Terry Schmeel's former house.
No,
Across
the,
the street.
Oh,
Mike.
Gays.
Mike.
sort of. I
McQueenie.
mean, that's just a shed. I mean, it was a shed. It's made into a cottage now, but
It's turned into a cute little house.
it doesn't have the same
No.
position on the hill as the others do. I'm thinking of looking up from Chapel Street, looking across. What you see. And from going in, basically all of those houses face north.
My opinion is it looks fine. That little window above the roof of the porch, that would have to be smaller. If the other ones were bigger, that would look odd. I think right now everything's uniform. And they did enlarge some windows. They gave us the ghost window. I think all
But the ghost window
improvements are good.
the ghost window is just it looks like another window. That's not a ghost window. You know, if you look at the east elevation, it's made to look like another window, but it should just be the frame.
Yeah, was that clear, Joe?
Yeah,
Is that clear? Can you ask, confer with your client that when we talk about a ghost window, it's just a frame. It's not a window.
Judy's here. I think she may be listening. She can address that herself.
Is this the window right here?
Yes.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
shows there as a frame. I admit on the sketch it looks different, but it is labeled a ghost window. So
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be anything more than it's
Frame.
just the trim, basically. It's just a balancing trick. It will take me too long to find the picture. I've got pictures of them on my phone, but I don't have. them.
I think we understand that, and basically, if that's what you want, we can agree to do that. We'd rather do that than show a window, actually. You know.
Yeah, a window. We understand they're on they're houses of a certain era out here, and they're disappearing. I'm afraid. That used to have them. I'm pretty sure Oswald's down the neck. The Littlefield Bee Farm has one. Webb Clark's house had one. Wagon Seals did, but it's gone. There were a few of them.
On
And it
page 4B, it shows kind of like not glass.
Well, it looks like it may be. I just wanted to be sure that it was clear what we were talking about. We're not talking about a window. We're just talking about
Frame.
basically something's put on. I just I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
Apply.
The house corner of Beach Avenue.
Right,
And,
that's
what is it?
that's
Cornet has.
that's Webb Clark's. I guess nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Well, you could see right here, it looks like there's just a frame.
But it looks like a window. It sounded like the concern is the expense of a window, and we're not talking about a window. I just
And
wanted to make that really
We're happy
clear.
to stipulate that it's a frame and not a window. That, I think, removes the concern Judy had about maintenance, and it will maintain the balance. So we're happy to do that if that's a stipulation of your decision.
Yeah, that's what when we talk about that, that's all we're talking about. It's just this application of
Good.
ornamental trim, I guess it is. But it does help the balance, especially when you have these blank walls that just scream, nah, at me.
And that Judy is willing to construct that to maintain that balance in the location shown, but as described by you.
Okay, good. It didn't sound like that was clear before. So Where
On
are-
the west
where are-
elevation, on the west elevation, Martha, that,
Yep.
that door is not very attractive either. And I also want to know what the railing is. Is it wire? Is
Hold,
it?
hold on, back up. Whether it's attractive or not is not, that's really subjective, and that's not really, it's whether it's conforming to the district, whether it fits in, whether it's appropriate. I don't have to find this. It's in the guidelines. Anyhow, it looks like, is it a wire rail?
No,
We have
Judy, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, the rail is not wire. It's the same composite material that the all of the trim on the house is made out of, or similar, same in color. If you
Doesn't
see
look
it,
like
if
it.
you look on the sheet 4A, it
Right.
shows essentially that it's, wood looking, not wired.
Okay, well, cable, I guess, because we have approved some cable in the district on newer buildings. And it is something that's new.
I think it looks
Yeah,
fine.
and 4A, it doesn't show anything on the stair except the upper and lower railing. And it looks like
Yeah.
that's plastic.
The problem I think the problem we have, and nobody can see what I'm doing, is the, and this may be a building issue, which again is an R issue, but I can't imagine they just let you do open rails
they
like
don't.
that.
It looks,
No.
Bill, can you address that?
Yes, I can. If you look closely at the rails, they're not open rails. They have the
They-
wire
wire.
coming through them. I don't know if you've seen those wire rails before. It's very
Yeah.
faint, but it's there.
So
And
on the
stairs
sketch
on
on
the stair?
so on the sketch on the screen, Bill, between the rails, there's you can just see a series of wires. Is
Oh,
that
I can
correct?
see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can too.
Where?
Yeah,
Not
I
on
can
the
see it on the
stair.
bottom.
I'm showing,
yeah.
can you
That-
see right
But it
here
is,
and right here? And even down in here.
yeah, it continues through everywhere. And there are many houses on the island that are utilizing that type of rail system.
Just a point of fact here is that the door at the top of the stairs, code is that a door can't be closer to the top of the stair than 1 foot. Because they don't want somebody coming out of the door and falling down the stairs. So I don't know that only looks like it's 4 inches.
They would have to conform to building code, and if it's the code is 1 foot, they couldn't be 4 inches.
Right. So it couldn't be that door because that door takes up the whole porch.
Well,
If you go to page 3B, you can see it more clearly.
yeah,
And from the edge of the trim to the door is a foot. It's just that side angle. So if you look at that top photo, you can see the edge of the door as well,
I don't
probably
have a
a foot
3D.
away from the.
I'm showing it
You
on the
don't ha-
screen right now.
Yeah, okay.
You don't have a 3B, is that it?
I have it, yeah, there's, but that's not a, I don't think well, that's a code issue between you and the
Yeah.
building official.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's a foot. I mean, the trim board is, and then there's a little space more, so it's probably well over a foot by the looks of it.
And I think if you do that door, you should have either no muntins in it or a lot of muntins in it. It looks very silly with that pattern.
Could you repeat that, please?
If that, with that door, I think you should either have no muntins, you know, the dividers, or, you know, 12 muntins. But having that look is just looks very strange. And I don't know that you can actually do that without them warping or turning.
Yeah, I'm kind of not following. Could somebody point that out on the screen, please?
Yeah, do you
Okay.
mean like go this, okay, I guess I can't draw it.
I can't.
Are you,
Yeah,
would a
Bill,
door
adjust-
more like the front and back door be what you're thinking of?
In other words, you're saying the French doors or the double doors aren't, they're sliding glass doors is what they are.
Oh,
Right.
You're saying you would rather have like doors similar to the front or the rear is what you're
No,
saying?
no. What I'm saying is that muntins are the dividers, are the, you know, that you put on the glass.
Oh,
Maybe
the
I'm using
dividers, like the.
so you'd like
so you'd
either a
rather
single
just have it,
pane or a more
a single
divided
pane.
pane?
Right.
Where we can do a single pane, that's fine, that's no problem. We actually would rather have it single pane, probably, so.
That's
I don't know, what
probably
are the other-
better.
Yeah.
That's probably
just
better
this-
because it's what it is, and it's not trying to be something else. Just have a regular slider. If it were a fancier
Yeah.
house, you know, I think we'd be talking about something else, but it's a pretty simple design.
It's just the way the slide, I gave it to myself.
That was just probably the way the designer decided to draw the sliders on his own accord. So, you know,
Single pane. no problem.
single pane is very typical for sliders, so I'm sure that's not a problem. We'll utilize those.
What are we gonna do about the front elevation? Because if we look at last month's minutes, that was an issue. And
So the front elevation, we're
Yeah.
on page 3A, the south side. Or,
Yes.
well,
Is it
you have
4A
the-
or is it,
You can do, that's like the 3-dimensional look.
3A.
okay, let me just get to it. Right here.
We have 3A.
What Judy did was she basically made all the front windows 2/2s as you requested. She enlarged them slightly, but kept them all the same size. And I think Martha's point that all the other buildings on the street face to the north makes good sense. And the building, the window over the door sort of limits what you can do to keep them uniform.
How much did she enlarge them? How big are they? We don't know.
Judy, what are the size of the windows?
What are the size of these windows? Do you
I
remember?
have no idea.
I-
The only thing that my biggest concern with the front of the house is that it's only about. My son's pulling me into the picture frame, sorry. The house is right on the road. I think when you look at the front of the house, you have to consider the front of the house is, to me, it's the back of the house. It's only about 14 feet from the front step to the traffic. And so I didn't want big windows on the front of the house because I don't want it to feel like the cars going by are in my room. In the back of the house is where the living area is because it's where the views are. And the front of the house, the interior is where the bathrooms are because I really don't want the traffic going by my living area only 14 feet away. which is like having cars going by your living room wall. When your living room is 12 foot wide, it's like I'm right on the road, you know? So I'm minimizing the front of the house windows for that reason.
They were made a little larger from the last
But they were made larger. you know.
print presented. They're just made a little taller, I think about 3 inches or so, just to kind of
Make us
hopefully-
happy.
And I just wanted
Yeah,
to
exactly.
point out that this application has to go to the zoning board for variances, so I don't know if that impacts anything at this point.
You can't see the south side and the north side at the same time. So at least if whatever the windows are that she chooses, you really don't know the difference, whether they're larger or smaller.
I think they did everything we asked them to do.
Yeah.
May I mention something?
Sure, go ahead.
You know, it may not have any relevance, but you know, you're looking at a pretty blank slate. You know, there's no landscape in there or anything. So if you could kind of envision, you know, gardens or plantings on either side of the door in front of those windows, which will provide screening and accents. And, you know, there's going to be probably a walkway to the door, whether it's stepping stones or brick paver. We don't plan on just having it, you know, so blank. You know, so I just wanted you to visualize, you know, what it would look like with adequate landscape as well.
Well, I acknowledge a certain bias against changing something to fit into what it would be on the mainland when you have an existing streetscape that is almost uniform. And the view up I know you see something from everywhere, but there's such a hill there that you don't actually see that much of these things from that street. And you do see them looking up from Chapel. And, you know, there's a really nice assortment of houses up there. And I'd certainly rather, I think the front and the back are mistermed, but that's just me. Does anybody else have any questions, any comments? Nope. And I will remind you, if anybody has any, I don't, Mark, do you know, did Winters ever build the house with the cabled?
Yes,
deck?
Winters did have the cables. I did the roof on that, and it had a cable system.
And I know that the old Legion Hall at the top of the hill behind the hedges has that same sort of thing.
You
And
know,
that's in the historic, goes both on High Street.
I don't know how, I'm still doing with the windows. I'm perfectly fine the way they are, but I understand what Eileen's saying. But would it be possible to, I don't know if you can see, put shutters on them? You know, on just that one side, if you know, to make it look bigger, but
So
right
you
now,
don't want them on one
I
side.
think it looks fine. The
We
way
could
it
do
is.
flower boxes on the bottom windows. I don't know. Would that help?
Yeah, that's something else too.
Okay.
You know? Like I say, I mean, if you could visualize like a garden on either side of the door, you know, that'll take away some of the, I think you're concerned with the blank wall under the window. I mean, flower boxes, shutters, should be something that we could do to help
Well,
alleviate the concerns.
if you know what the Rose Farm Inn is like, you know I love to plant gardens and trees and things, and I fully intend to landscape it. And you know I have a good landscaper in the family. So foundation plantings and things are in the plan, and stone walls, and my mind is going crazy over what I can do with shrubs and flowers and.
Oh, boy. I got my work cut out for me, I guess.
Well, you're lucky, Judy.
Flower boxes that would be at least a foot high would be a good improvement to those bottom windows. And it's the south side, so things will grow.
Things will grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already envisioning lilac bushes and phantom hydrangeas and things around the house, and
Yeah.
you know.
And
So-
Mrs. Rose was right. You know, I just did the house for Willis Dodge's son. And you kind of look down into that lot when you're coming down Sunset Hill. So I understand what she's saying about the traffic.
Supports me on the traffic.
Is anybody ready to make a motion?
I don't have the plot.
7 lot 68.
Okay, I'll make a motion for a new house in the historic district on lot 68, plot 7. The sizes are 23 feet, 8 inches times 38 feet, a 2-story building, Anderson 400 windows. Looks like all the rail system on the stairs will be wire. I don't have the specs on the siding, so I can't say anything about the siding. The doors will be solid doors, and it'll be a slider with just plain glass upstairs. What else here? There will be a ghost window and
Flower boxes.
in east side. And I guess do I have to come in front of us for flower boxes later, or just ask them? I don't know about the flower boxes.
I can say recommend the recommendation is for the addition of flower boxes.
And anything I'm missing, Martha?
You're
Martha,
muted.
you're muted.
Is,
We lost Martha.
I think she
Oh,
just hit the
no.
button.
Okay, I couldn't get the unmute button and I pushed the whole thing off. I think we should just say, there's a term for it, for appropriate vegetation or vegetation, traditional vegetation,
Traditional landscaping.
traditional lands, well, yeah, I guess you could say landscaping.
How that works.
in substitute of flower boxes, you're saying?
Well, either or, whichever you decide to do. Because you might want to do flower boxes, you might want to do, Judy might want to do,
Yeah, I think we're gonna do very adequate on the plantings, probably, because if, like my mother said, if you've ever come to the Rose Farm Inn, you just take a look.
I
I'm
hear a
not
second?
sure who seconded the motion.
did anyone yet?
No.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Thank you.
And can I just ask, is this for final approval?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and Bill, you said cedar. Judy, someone said white cedar.
The
Siding.
white cedar. And Bill, what kind of an architectural shingles and the what was the trim going to be, Bill?
What did you pick for the trim?
Trim?
Yeah,
What do you mean trim?
what was it, just a white AZAC?
Oh, yeah, it's like a white AZAC.
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
your typical white
Typical white
AZAC trim.
AZAC trim, yeah.
Okay, can we add that to the original motion, Mark?
Yep.
Thank you.
All the
Okay.
trim will be exact.
Everybody, we had who seconded? Kay, was it?
Okay,
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Yes,
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? It's
I
unanimous vote.
abstain.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Just abstaining?
Yes.
Okay.
do you need Arlene to vote because you only have 3, which wouldn't,
Abstention is a vote. That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
because I don't know if you have the,
My understanding of the rules of Robert's rules is when you have a a majority of the quorum is what you need to vote. You don't need a majority of the committee. So in this case, a 3-0 vote would be a majority of the quorum. It would be an approval.
that's
Even
my
with-
understanding as well. I just haven't had someone abstain
Yeah.
on the vote so that it's clear.
But even with an abstention, you get a three vote majority, which would be satisfactory.
I mean, you have to vote, so it's an abstention has to count as a vote.
Okay, that's how I will.
Okay, so moved. So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Are we approved?
You're
Yes.
approved.
Yeah. We're approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We did it.
Hey, Jen, I asked you this afternoon what this next one was, and you told me, and I've forgotten already. Island. Oh, this is Dead Ice. The next application is Island Marine Corps Plat 5, Lot 66, Ocean Avenue, application to remove 2 windows and add hood exhaust fan and air duct to back of building in order to increase the size of the hood in the kitchen.
Yeah, sorry, I just answered you with but I was muted, and Jessica Ranowski is present.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Oh,
Explain what you want to do here, please.
Sure. So we are looking to expand the size of our hood on the interior of the restaurant. In order to do that, it requires an additional exhaust vent and a makeup air vent. So for most of this, I'll be looking at the photo of the back of the building that I have labeled A. And you can see they're wrapped right now for the winter, but the exhaust vent is the one on top. The makeup air is the round piece on the bottom. We need one more set of those. In order to extend the hood from where it is currently, that extra set has to go where window number 1 is currently. So we'd like to take that window out and put the vent there. And then we, in order to continue the hood, it's more an interior thing, but next to that window is our hot water heaters and our water tank. That all also has to shift down a little bit. And that's where we run into taking out window number 2 so that the water tank and the water heaters can move over. And the 2 little vents that you see that are labeled number 3, those are the water heater vents that just need to kick over to the side a little bit. It's all in the back of the building. I provided a side sketch of what the current exhaust vent and makeup air look like. It'll be a replica. It's the same company doing it. That's it.
Good job.
Thanks.
I think it's in the back of the building. It doesn't impact anything really. And if they need it to keep producing the wonderful food, go
Thanks.
for it.
Yeah, it's both sides. are
And it is,
screened
I mean,
off, too.
you're looking at it in the winter, which is great because it's easy to see. But in the summer, we have big grasses back there and lots of plantings. So some of it is kind of hidden anyways to begin with. And it is the back of the building, as you said.
it already has, the sides are protected anyway. It's in its own little cave almost. You're not gonna
Mhm,
see it.
exactly.
Or should I make a motion to
Yes.
accept this application as shown, seeing as it doesn't impact any major things in the historic district?
Second,
Just
I'll
want to
second
note that it is a historic building in the new harbor, but as, and just wrap that into the motion that's stated, it's not visible from many spots. Or the least, what is it, the least negative
They
impact?
seconded it.
I seconded it, Mark.
Okay, everybody all in favor?
aye.
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 Anyone opposed? So voted.
Yay, thank you.
You. I think I've got an extra application here that isn't here. Tony and Cindy Pappas have an application, Plat 5, Lot 25, Beach Avenue application to remove doors, replace them with windows, replace shingles, add corner boards, add trim around windows, and add shutters. Cindy, I think is here somewhere.
Yes, I'm just, yep. Tony, is it Tony or Cindy? I'm not sure.
Cindy Pappas here.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well,
So Cindy, want to tell us what you want to do?
Sure. So on the west side of the property, you've got a picture that has the dumpster prominently displayed. That's the side we were hoping to add shutters on the 8 windows on that western facade in an attempt to try to soften that look. So that would be on the west side. On the opposite side, the east side of the property, there are two doors. Actually, there are 4 doors there off those little balconies. There's a door on either end of the balcony. In between, on the interior of that space, is a kitchen. It's not really functional to have 2 doors there. It's a very small galley kitchen. We'd like to remove the northernmost door on each floor and replace it with a window that matches the same size of the existing windows. Over the course of time, we'll be re-siding with white cedar shingles. And as we re-side, we would like to put corner boards in on the corners of the property and frame the windows as windows are replaced. Unfortunately, we can't do it all in one fell swoop. It's going to be a couple of year project, but we're hoping that adding the trim around windows, replacing windows, new siding, corner boards as we work from one side of the house to the next.
would be helpful if you change the railings on those porches. They're really ugly.
They really
Jen,
are,
Can
Arlene.
we all understand that, but we've got to keep to inappropriate
And, you know,
or needs work
yeah.
or something.
We hope that we'll be back in front of you, you know, in a year or two, figuring out a better, more attractive railing system, both on the front and the back. But unfortunately, we're not tackling those projects right now.
Cindy, on that back side or the water side, what's that, the west side? No, the east side.
It's called the
East.
water side.
I would call it the east.
I would call it the
Okay.
water.
So you're gonna have a little deck up there for that one door, or the deck's gonna stay the length? Just
No,
remove-
the deck, the deck will stay as is. The only thing that's changing is
Is the door.
removing a door and replacing it with a window.
No, okay, thank you. I think corner boards, trim around the windows, shutters in the front. I mean, on the west side, I think that'll be a big improvement. How did this house pass the first time through the historic district?
This was built in 1980, so I don't know. Well, the foundation was historic. I think it's an old barn foundation, but I don't know what happened in 1980. Martha's muted.
I can tell you offline exactly what happened, but the historic district was not in place at that time. The original application was not for a living quarters. It was for a barn. Because that's the way, well, again, does anybody have any other questions, any comments? If not, a motion to approve would be in order.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, go ahead.
Plot 5, lot 25. Going to on the east side of the house. We're gonna remove one door to the north side, remove it, and add a window in that same spot, leaving the decks, the existing decks the way they are. In the future, they're gonna put trim around all the windows, corner boards, we'll leave AZAC, I'm not sure. I think that's what I would use.
It'll be composite.
Closet.
The composite's easier.
And shutters on the 8 windows in the front in the future. And I think that's all you asked for, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Mark, just a clarification, it's actually 2 doors being changed into windows.
Yep, 2 doors.
Yeah, 1 on each floor.
Sorry.
Okay,
Second that.
thank you. We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone? Anybody opposed? Declare it passed unanimously.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much. We'll look forward to the changes.
We will too. Thanks.
Okay, I'm down to 9% here.
You only have approval of minutes. It would be the
Yep,
January
I think I can make
24th.
it.
All right, hun, good job. Bring up much more mellow mood for us.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from January 24th.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Anybody
did anybody
opposed?
talk?
Go ahead.
Did anybody talk to Bill today? Because his package is here. It's not like him. I just was wondering if anybody knows
Yeah.
where he is.
I left a voicemail message and I also emailed him.
Did he talk?
No.
Answer? Maybe
No.
I should take a ride up there then or something.